The last market report we did for March showed that the seller's market was still going strong due to persistent low inventory, home values continuing to rise, and the days a property staying on the market being low. However, there is less contract activity in terms of offers getting accepted and less properties closing, implying a home buying struggle on the prospective buyer's part. Will this trend reverse course? Or will the seller's market continue to cool? Stay tuned as we dive into April's market report for Las Vegas. Quick disclaimer, there are other agents doing market reports for Las Vegas. You might see different stats in the categories discussed in this video. Agents across Las Vegas have different sources, and those sources might have different data. For transparency's sake, I will link all the sources I have used personally to create this video market report in the description below. First up is the median sales price. April clocked in at $388,000, which is an $8,000 increase over March. Year over year, the increase has been marked at $69,000, a surge of 21.6%. As expected, home equity values are still increasing, but the monthly and annual differences have gotten overall bigger than before. Is this equity increase based mainly on demand, or is inflation increasing its presence? Now we go to the inventory in the Las Vegas Valley. April shows up at 5,734 units, a decrease from 5,866 units in March. April 2021 displayed 8,652 units being available, which is a significant decrease of 2,918 units year over year. Unfortunately, low inventory is persisting, and whether it be pre-owned or new construction, the prospective buyer will have a difficult time. We now cover pending transactions, where a seller accepts a buyer offer and the transaction goes into escrow. April sits at 50,753 units being under contract, marking a decrease of 226 less units being under contract when compared to March. April of last year had 49,065 units under contract, which marks an increase of 1,688 more buyers getting their offers accepted. We go from pending to the final stage of an escrow, which is closed transactions. Simply put, these are the amount of home transactions that finish escrow and transferred home ownership to the buyer. April clocks in at 50,922 units closing, marking a noteworthy decrease of 824 units when compared to March. April of 2021 sat at 46,705 units being closed, showing an increase of 4,217 units year over year. We now go to our final stat, which is median days on market, or in other words, how long it takes for a listing to go live on the market to an accepted offer. April sits at 8 days on market, which is the same as March. Annual gains are impressive, where April of 2021 showed that units were on the market for 15 days. If a seller puts their property for sale at fair market value, buyers should know that the property will not last long. In summary, the market is still in the seller's court. This is supported yet again by low inventory, home equity values increasing, and the low amount of time a property stays on the market. However, the heated environment of the seller's market has cooled even further than previous months. Buyer activity in the realm of pending and closing contract activity decreased at an even faster rate. The one area that provided comfort before would have been the considerable gains shown in the annual contract stats in comparison to the dropping monthly stats. While that remains technically true, the size of the annual gains have lowered by the thousands when comparing it to previous months. If I was a betting man, I would say that the peak of the blazing seller's market is now a distant memory. As stated in last month's market report, here are the reasons I suspect that buyer pending and closing activity have been taking a toll. First, inflation is not doing prospective buyers any favors. Inflation helps the homeowner instead by making any mortgage debt cheaper while technically increasing the value of the property. While inflation technically increases the property value, buyer demand for homes combines with inflation to price prospective buyers out of the market. This buyer affordability dilemma is further exacerbated by the fact that wages are not keeping up. Secondly, interest rates are increasing. A slight increase can bump the buyer's monthly payments by the hundreds and the lifetime payment of the loan by tens of thousands. Last but not least, the inventory keeps steadily decreasing. However, the seller's market is still doing better than last year, even though the size of the annual gains have gotten less impressive. In addition, current levels of contract activity are still higher than pre-pandemic levels. I'll put the stats on the screen right here. If the seller prices their market at fair market value, things should still go great. Well, that wraps up April's market report. If there are certain stats you want to know about or want a specific topic covered, please do let me know. If you got any feedback, that's also welcome as well. This is Oscar SanJuan with eXp Realty, signing off.